Hello everyone and welcome to Decentralized Nation, the channel where crypto is made simpler. Are you by any chance waiting for a Fed pivot to buy cryptocurrency at market lows? I know I was. I was until I understood that I was probably going to get wrecked. That is why, guys, I'm making this video. Because there might be a lot of people out there just like me that think the Fed pivot will signal the end of the bear market and that we can ape in and buy crypto at bear market lows. But the fact is that is not true. There is data that shows that after Fed's pivot is very likely to just have more downside, in the markets. So if you guys want to know why, just stick around for the rest of the video. But before going any further, of course, I need to put a halt on the video and remind you all that this is not financial advice. Okay, guys, I'm just doing this and sharing my research for educational and entertainment purposes only. And if you guys want to do any kind of finance with it, it's your own responsibility and your own decision. I have nothing to do with it. Okay, guys, but with that out of the way, let's get to the video. Okay, guys, let's see. Here, first we have here the Binance, it doesn't matter where it comes from, but the Bitcoin price compared to the Nasdaq. Why is that? Because I think the markets are, the Bitcoin market and the cryptocurrency market has been very correlated with tech stocks especially and with other markets, and all the markets have suffered a lot with the Fed increase of the interest rates. Interest rates have been crazy, and as you can see here, all markets have dumped a lot. Here the Nasdaq rallied a little bit, but unfortunately crypto didn't, with all the situation of FTX. But yeah, I do think we have some more downside coming, because I do think the Fed will keep increasing interest rates. So bear that in mind. Even though I think we can have a little bit of a rally this month or very soon. But be careful with it, because it won't signal the end of the bear market. Don't get too bullish, because you might get caught in that rally, guys. So be very careful. And if you want to know more about this rally and about the real reason why I think there will be more downside, just check out the link above. I'll just leave the video I did about that, and I think it can be very useful to guide your action in the next few months, I would say. But yeah, I think we expect more downside, and I can explain you why, and it corroborates all the theory because of this little indicator here, that it's basically the yield curve inversion. Okay, this graph compares the 10-year yield of the bonds, of the US bonds, with the 2-year yield. And when we see an inversion, it usually signals bad times for the market. Okay, guys. Here in, let's see, December 1999, we had a yield inversion that signaled the dot-com bubble. Okay, guys, and we had all those problems. Here, in, let's say, when it started, you can even put it here. In April 2006, we had the yield curve inversion that naturally signaled the financial crisis of 2008, 2007, 2008. And here we had the COVID, okay, when it touched the yield curve inversion line. And here we have a huge yield curve inversion right now that has no signs of picking back up. And this is worrying, because it might signal, if we see all the other signals, it might mean that we'll have a big event coming, a big event that will crash the market. It's either a crisis of some sort, some kind of pandemic. You never know what's coming, but usually this kind of indicator is very strong and has shown, a great deal of effectiveness, in terms of predicting these kind of things. So it's really scary what is coming, and that's why we do think that there's more downside, and that goes with all the theory of the Fed keep increasing the rate hikes until something breaks. Okay, guys, until something breaks. And I agree with you, and I agree with many that a pivot is necessary. Until the Fed pivots, interest rates will keep increasing, liquidity will keep being removed from the markets. So in reality, we cannot expect to have a bull run or a great increase in prices of cryptocurrencies with liquidity constantly being removed, and considering also that crypto is a higher beta asset. Okay, guys, so I don't think that's likely. So I do think we need a pivot, although it depends on what you call a pivot, because right now in the crypto market, uh, you know a pivot used to be when the Feds reduce rates, but there are a lot of people that say or imply that a pivot is when they stop rate hikes, and even others, for them a pivot is just reducing rate hikes. But no, for me, I mean, I don't think that is a pivot at all. If you reduce rate hikes, you're still increasing the interest rate and removing liquidity. And if you stop the rate hikes, you keep the interest rate considerably higher. And it's harder for people to pay their mortgage, their debt in general, for companies to pay that as well. That will lead to, of course, unemployment and all those kind of problems. So if they don't stop the hikes, liquidity won't increase, and we have a burden over these companies and the people that are extremely leveraged right now, guys. So I don't think that's enough. I think we do need a pivot, but even though a pivot in the long run will help reach the bear market, it won't be enough. Like in the short run, it's likely we have more downside, and we have data that just supports that, because, and it all makes sense, because at the end of the day, when there is a pivot, it's usually because something went wrong. The Fed will keep increasing interest rates because inflation is out of control. They'll need to keep increasing interest rates until the interest rates are higher than the inflation rate, so we can catch up and reduce the interest rates. So there are still lots of increases that need to be done, and I don't think the markets, especially with the amount of debt a lot of companies and even individuals have, I don't think it will hold. I don't think it will be able to sustain all those increases, and something will eventually break, or we might even have before that some kind of weird event like a pandemic or any other kind of event that really affects all the world economies, and that leads the Fed to pivot. But naturally, if you're pivoting by bad reasons, that will scare the markets. And as we had in the COVID-19, as I can show here, if we look at Bitcoin, as we had here in the COVID-19 event, let me see if I can show you guys here. Yeah, we had here, we were raising, and then we had a huge decrease in terms of liquidity due to COVID-19 in the cryptocurrency market. And I do think that will happen again if we find ourselves in a situation where we have bad news. So as you can see here in this graph, a lot of the times that the Fed pivot, after that, you had still a significant decreases in the market price. Okay, and after that, we were able to recover and start growing again, guys. So I do think that is what will happen, guys. Probably when something breaks and the Fed pivots, we'll see great downwards pressure in the market. The prices will rise lower until we finally hit the bottom of the bear market, and from then on, it will likely be the best time to just buy whatever crypto assets you're wanting to buy, guys. So just remember that and be very careful, because it's super easy to get wrecked, to get overly excited. You can even have a small bull trap, so everyone is like, oh yeah, now the Fed decreased, let's pivot the interest rates, let's all ape into the market, and afterwards institutions and big individuals and whales will dump on you. So be very careful with that, guys. And just wait, be patient, and at least that's what I'm going to do. And once again, this is not financial advice. You do whatever you want, but I do think it was important to give you this information, and I hope this information is something that can add to your strategy, and that is basically useful knowledge. Okay, guys? So if you enjoy, I would appreciate it that you leave a like on this video, maybe follow us if you like this kind of content, but it's up to you, and I hope to see you in the next video. Stay safe.